Hey everybody, how's it going? Do I have anybody in here yet? Is that you, Haley? Oh, hey Dee, how are you? Just got off work and I'm working on making a salad for a friend. Thought I'd just go while I did it so that could be entertaining myself. How's everybody doing? Peeling a cucumber right now. Been a long weekend for me. Driven almost 600 miles this week. This weekend, I mean, not this week, this weekend. So yesterday was fun when I tried to set my alarm on Friday night for a 6 a.m. and when I woke up at 6:50 and realized I hadn't set my alarm correctly. I set it for 6 p.m. instead of 6 a.m. So that was fun. Then today, I forgot that my schedule changed because of the week being the weekend. It's a little different than during the week, and I went into work about 45 minutes early. No biggie, really. It is a lot of mileage, but thankfully I don't have to pay for it. Thankfully, it's a company truck and a company gas card. All I have to do is show up and drive, which I'm grateful I am not paying for any of it. No maintenance or anything. Because who wants to pay for all that when you're driving that much? So I'm just slicing up a cucumber right now, my mandolin. It's going to be a cucumber and onion salad that I'm making. It's a salad that my parents used to make. I never ate it. I've never been a fan of cucumbers or really onions for that matter, but they really liked it and always fixed it more in the summer than anything. And it's got some vinegar and cucumber and onions in it and a little bit of sugar. So I'm fixing that for a friend of mine that really likes cucumber, and I'm going to also make her a tomato and bell pepper onion salad as well. That's very similar to this cucumber one, just some different ingredients. Gotta be careful not to cut myself on this mandolin. Sometimes sharp blades and me do not mix well. So what's everybody else doing tonight? Anything fun and exciting, or is it just gonna be a boring night for everybody? Hey Tony, I'm just gonna be grabbing a bowl real quick to put this in. Forgot to grab it before I started the stream. I took some food over to my friend for us to eat for a meal, and they sent the leftovers back with me in a bowl, so I thought I'd take food back in the bowl to them. You know. Thank you, Tony. And I remember that you had a birthday, or your son had a birthday party this weekend. Did that go well? Yeah, and that might be a bad thing right now, especially if you got to eat. I mean, not eat. Gosh, wow. My brain has been completely off this whole weekend. It's been kind of frustrating and sad at the same time. I'm going to show y'all this that I do. Y'all may do this too, but I have this bell pepper, and what I like to do is I like to cut this stem out with a small knife, and then I pull it out, and all the seeds come out at that, just with that. And I have very few seeds in there. You usually can just shake them out. So it's a cool little tip that I'll pass on that I've learned and I like to do. So what's everybody been up to this weekend? Well, yeah, you are ahead of me, Dee. I haven't had dinner yet, technically. I kind of ate in while I was working between stops. Or at least that's what I'm going to say I did. Just in case someone from O'Reilly corporate office is watching this for some reason at some point. Because we're not supposed to be eating in the truck. So, you know, got it on the DL. So you're getting to see one of the things I like to do, or if it's not, I wouldn't really call this necessarily cooking, but I do like to cook, and this is to me just more prepping food than anything, but cooking is something I do enjoy doing, and kind of got a love for from my mom. She's the one who taught me how to cook. Did anybody do anything really interesting this weekend, or anything? Because like I said, all I did this weekend was work, and that was not very fun. Today, I set a new record for myself today with my route that I do every weekend, or whenever I drive now. I had 35 tickets, which is phenomenally high for my route. That's just a lot of tickets for us to be taking. But I had 64 parts with those tickets that I took. So again, a lot of parts that I delivered, and yeah, it was a lot of parts and a lot of tickets, and very, very challenging to say the least sometimes, because you're trying to keep it all straight, make sure everyone gets the right part at the right place and on time, and all that fun stuff that they want you to pay attention to. So if you're a fan of peppers and onions and tomatoes and cucumbers, this is a couple of different salads that you would probably really enjoy. What I'm doing now is I'm cutting up the peppers to go in the tomato and onion salad. So I just take my bell pepper, I'm using a yellow one this time, and I just cut them up to about like that. You know, just small, but try to be kind of bite-sized pieces, nothing too overwhelming, that type of thing. And if you can't tell by now, I'm coming at you live from my kitchen. And if you ever visit me at my apartment, you will see that I have a very unique sense of style. You can see the zebra print curtain that I had back there, or valance, I guess, really, behind me, over my kitchen sink. My living room is decorated with dolphins, minions, and snowmen. And my bedroom is pretty much the same. Dolphins and minions and snowmen. Snowmen are not, so, I mean, I like snowmen, but they're not really they were more my mom's thing, and I like them, and it kind of reminds me of her, so I keep stuff like that around, and that type of thing, mainly for her, to kind of remember her, and to kind of, I guess, I don't know if it'd be really to honor her, but just to, like I said, to remember her by and everything else. Ooh, non-sugar diet cake. I bet that's going to be good. By the way, I was listening to the radio while I was driving today, and for those of you who are diabetic or maybe have some food allergies, I heard about a recipe book that sounds really interesting and one that I want to check out. It is, I wish I could remember the title for, like, actual title now, but I can't. But basically, I know it has something to do with, like, 100 kid-friendly allergy-free snacks or something. It's something right along those lines. And, I mean, it's foods and snacks that are all allergy-free, or you can use substitutions if the recipes have something that you're allergic to in it. And they're vegetarians, the girls that put the recipe, they're sisters, they're twin sisters, and they're vegetarians, so it's a lot of vegetarian type of dishes, but they're designed to be kid-friendly and things that kids would like. So, that would be a pretty cool recipe book that I want to try, because there are a lot of food allergies in my family, and it's actually been interesting because my mom was the first one that really probably had the food allergies, and she was allergic to soy, and she had difficulty with sugar, yeast, and like I said, soy she was allergic to, and there was sugar and yeast that she had troubles with, and she tried to avoid. And then when my brother got married, his wife we found out that she was allergic to dairy and eggs. And then my nephew, after he was born, we found out that he was allergic to, or I realize it's more of a severe intolerance to wheat proteins in general. Hi, Camilla and Caroline. So, again, it was a very interesting mealtime a lot of times at our house with everybody's allergies. And but my mom did a really good job of figuring out how to balance that out and find foods for everybody to eat that they could eat, and sometimes even making 2 or 3 different kinds of dishes, because if you can imagine, my mom couldn't have soy, but my sister-in-law could not have dairy. So my sister-in-law couldn't eat butter, but mom couldn't eat margarine. So we had to many times separate dishes for them to kind of help them balance it out, which was interesting at times. And my nephew, he couldn't have the soy, so he could eat pretty much anything my mom had. If my mom could eat it, he could eat it. But I do remember a really cute story one time, or a couple of cute stories with him. When he was little, he was just absolutely adorable. I swear he was. But he knew at a very early age what he could and could not eat. And one day he was at our house, and we had fixed some barbecue and slaw and other fixings to go with it. And he was trying slaw for the first time, and he caught, and everything, and he fell in love with it. But one of his questions to us was, as soon as he saw it, on his plate, he said, "Does this have soy in it?" So cute. And watching out for himself already at a very young age. He was probably 2 or 3 years old, probably 3, I would say, about that time. So, I mean, already very, very knowledgeable about what he could and could not eat, and just Very watchful of that and protective of it. And I had to just kind of tell him, you know, if it's here at Mimi's house and we've given it to you, it's safe. You can eat it. It's not a problem. And so he was fine with that at that point, and he went ahead and ate it and really enjoyed it. And then there was another time, because of his wheat intolerances, we had some bread that my mom had because of her yeast intolerances. It was a yeast-free bread, and my dad fixed in our family we call it cinnamon toast, which was cinnamon and sugar basically on a piece of buttered toast. And my dad made it for him one day, and we had it all cut up in pieces for him, and he's sitting there just chowing down on it. And I asked him, "Does Grandpa make good cinnamon toast?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Is it 2 thumbs up?" And he goes, "2 thumbs up." Couldn't quite get those thumbs up, but he did. He still got the message across, and just really, really, again, like I said, very cute, very funny. So, Haley, how are you doing? Is it tonight or is it tomorrow, or is it today or tomorrow that you're going to be excited and happy and free? To have a little bit of time to yourself. I can't remember. Hey, I'll tell you what else I'm really excited this weekend. Actually, I guess it was Friday, Haley and we went to Kohl's. I've been thinking about and wanting to get a grill pan for a while, and remembered I had a gift card that someone had given me and thought, I need to go and check that out real quick there, because, I mean, I know they have the kitchen stuff. I also thought about getting some more skillets and stuff like that. And so we went there and checked it out, and I found a cast iron grill pan, and I got it for like $22. It was like $21 with taxes and all. And I'm just like, that is an incredible deal for a cast iron grill pan, especially when the non-stick versions are like 3 times that. Well, I'm sorry my live stream booed you. I hate it when that happens. Are you still there, Haley, or have you had to go and do something with the kids? Tomatoes are tricky. You don't want to squeeze them too hard, but yet you gotta get them off the vine somehow. So did you have a good day today at church, Haley? Caroline, Camilla, are y'all behaving and doing good for Mama? I'm going to have to do some laundry when I get done with this. I'm running out of clothes. I tend to wait till the last minute to do my laundry. I hate doing laundry. And then once I get it done, leave it out of the dryer. So next week, I'm going to Nashville, back to my hometown. There's a conference there that I'm going to. I work at O'Reilly right now, but my true educational profession is social work. So I have my master's in social work license. So I have to continue education year for that. So I'm going to be doing next week. So I'm going to be at a conference taking care of that. And while I'm there, I'm planning on trying to go back to where I grew up and show y'all some of the things, some of the places where I grew up, like where I went to school and the house I grew up in and that type of thing. Kind of take a walk down memory lane. And I promise y'all, I've been trying to get the video up, and it has been really a challenge because it's a PowerPoint presentation that I'm trying to put up, and I cannot seem to do what I wanted to do. So probably tomorrow night, that's what I think I'm going to sit down and I'm going to kind of record a video to kind of go over this introduction to essential oils, because this Friday, Haley and I are Haley's going to help me, and we're going to do an interview with the person that's with me in doTERRA, and he's going to talk about the company itself, humanitarian objectives and things like that. Going to be really, really good and interesting to talk to him. But I wanted to do it live to give y'all an opportunity to ask questions about doTERRA or anything that you want to ask him and get some information on. If y'all have some specific questions or health concerns or issues you want to know more about with doTERRA, please let me know. And you can always email me at chirpysnaturalsolutions@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment in this video and let me know. And I'll be happy to do a video on that, either a live stream or a vlog. Either way, I really want this to be more about you guys and what y'all want to know, and not just me kind of putting stuff out there and no one really cares. I know some of y'all with insomnia, so I'll definitely do something with insomnia. If there's anything else that y'all want to know about, I remember someone talking about, they've been in a different group, but talking about depression and anxiety, and I can definitely do a video on that. So those are two things that I will definitely do some videos on. There's common issues. But if there's anything else specific that you want to know about, or that you have questions about, health concern, or that you, a family member or a friend has, that you want some answers on, or think that maybe some oils would help them, feel free to ask me. And like I said, I will be happy to do a video on it. If I don't know enough about it, I will get the information, and I will either let them do the video, or I'll get the information from them and I will do the video. Most likely I'll just let them do the video because, well, they know more about it. So that just makes a lot more sense to let them do it. But I have heard from some from my last live stream and the drawing I did, but not all of you. So I'm probably going to be doing a new drawing names and getting those oils out to y'all hopefully very, very soon. I've got pretty much everything I need, and I'm going to get those out hopefully this week. But like I said, I'm going to do another drawing to select some new names, just since I haven't heard from about 6 of you, 6 of the people that won the drawing. I haven't heard from them, and so I will do another draw those 6 names again, and maybe get some winners from that. But if you do know any of the winners, you can go back to my other live stream, and if you know those people and you want to contact them and let them know, that's fine. But if I don't hear from them in the next day or so, it's been about over a week now since I did that stream. if I don't hear from them like in the next 2 days, I will go ahead and draw some new names to get that there. Because I do want to share doTERRA with all of you and do as much as I can to help y'all with your health and your goals and that type of thing, and to give y'all more information and help y'all understand doTERRA better. I will, in my live stream, this will probably be shared again, but this is something that I saw my blind guy yesterday, and he shared with me. He just got back from the leadership conference. He was sharing with me some of the stuff that they showed there and talked about there. And he showed me a video from, I want to say it's Cambodia. Yeah, it's Cambodia. That the money that doTERRA makes, because doTERRA is not about, they're not a company that's just all about oils and making a profit. A couple of videos that he showed me, one of them was a village where we have gone and sourced out, and we use that village for Copapaya, something like that. I forget the actual how you actually pronounce it, but we use that village which is actually just several families, like generations of families, is what it basically is. We use that village to source out that oil, the Copapaya, or however you pronounce it. And when the Dr. Hill, who is the founder of doTERRA, got there, and one of the other corporate people with doTERRA got there to talk to some of the families and meet some of them. One of them was talking about how they were in such bad pain. Hold on one second. Let me get a paper towel. About that. They had really bad pain, and there was a thing going on with her tooth. Oh, it was 3 impacted wisdom teeth that this woman had. And Dr. Hill took out his clove oil and told her that, it's not going to taste good and all that, but this is going to help you with the pain. And he applied it to her teeth, and within a few minutes, she was completely out of pain. Of course, they show her face and show how awful it tastes and how, that type of thing. And that's to be expected. Clove is not a tasty oil, and not all these oils are going to taste good, but they all have good benefits to them. So she was completely out of pain, or it helped with that she was completely, I don't know for sure, but okay, sorry about that. Something happened. So I'll start back because I don't know exactly when the stream went out, but she had 3 impacted wisdom teeth, and they applied the clove oil, and within a few minutes, the pain was really dramatically changed. Of course, you could see her face, and you could tell it did not taste good at all. But of course, clove oil is not going to taste good, but it's still going to help with. It's still going to help with that pain. So they did that, and after they did the clove and helped with that pain, doTERRA contracted and okay. Welcome back, Tony. So they have contracted with a dentist, and I believe he said a doctor, to take a boat up and down the coastline there where we are sourcing out these plants, and they are going to be there now to help take care of the dental and medical issues of this village and this family. It's like the 3 generations of the family that live there on this little island and little village. So, I mean, doTERRA doesn't just go in and say, hey, we want to source out this land and we want you to do this for us and we'll bring you in, some clean water and yada, 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 and then, okay, goodbye. No, they really focus on giving back and making sure that not just the oils are good that we're getting and that the oils are the best ones that we can get, but they're making sure that the people are taken care of as well. So the other story that he told me about that I was just like, oh my goodness. And it just kind of gives me chill bumps when I think about it, and I talk about, and he was getting chill bumps just talking about it. And it's in Cambodia. There is a gentleman, it was actually a CBS report, so I'm sure if you go to CBS, you can find the report. But there's a gentleman who has started the Operation Underground Railroad, is what I believe it's called. And we completely fund him. And what he does is he goes into countries like Cambodia and other things that have high instances of human trafficking, and and he will do sting operations there. And they showed a video of him in Cambodia where he and his team had went in, and they did a sting operation. And in this particular sting operation, they brought in they were talking about the people who were doing the trafficking. Were talking about how they get these children like at 7 years old, and by 7, 8 years old, and by the time they're 9 to 11, they're ready to be trafficked and to be used. And in this particular sting operation, they set it up to have basically a party. And one of the little boys, who is probably 8 years old, was asking for like cocaine. He's like, they usually give me something because I get nervous, I don't like this, and that type of thing. And but they had 54 kids in that room for that party, 29 of which were under the age of 18. So they rescued all of those kids. They go in, and before the sting operation, they set up a home where they could have counselors, and they had a whole team and a whole group of people in a home where they could go, where they could take these kids to be safe and to be taken care of as they work to try to undo the damage that was done. But honestly, I can tell you that the damage is never really going to fully be undone, but it can be maybe done a little bit. But so they've done this, and now since they went in and have done this sting operation, and I think they've probably done a few other sting operations in there, Cambodia has zero, you heard me, zero human trafficking, because they're all scared. They are all scared to death about getting caught and everything else, because when they ran the operation, they used the Cambodian police to come in and to arrest these individuals. So again, doTERRA is not just selling oil. The selling of oil is to fund and to support and help other humanitarian projects, whether it's bringing in clean water, or it's doing sting operations, or whatever else they're doing. But I mean, they are constantly looking for ways to give back. It is a wonderful company to be partnered with. And while I'm talking this, they do have an oil that's called Hope. It's called Hope. The oil is called Hope. It comes in a little roller bottle, about like, well, actually, it'll come in a roller bottle similar to this size right here. And all the proceeds, I think it's all the proceeds and not just the cost of it, but the proceeds of it go to help human trafficking victims and organizations. And on the roller bottle itself, it'll say Hope Oil, and it has a little sticker that you can peel up. And the idea of it is that you can give this or leave this around in different places, and when they open that up, it gives them information, a number to call if they're being trafficked, to get help and to get out of that lifestyle. So, like I've said, doTERRA is very much humanitarian oriented and focused. They want to help everyone that they can, and they do all. And this is just a small picture of the type of things that they do. But like I said, very, very good organization. Proud to be a part of the organization. Proud to be a part of that, of what they do and how they're doing. So that live stream is we're going to do that on Friday. I don't have a time yet. I just know Friday. I got to get with the person I'm interviewing and see what time is going to work best for him. But we'll be doing that Friday, Haley and I. So I hope y'all can come and be a part of that. And if you can't, you can always watch it after the fact, which will be fine too. And if you hopefully you'll have some questions and can talk and have any questions that we can ask and discuss and answer for you while I'm doing the video. I would be more than happy to, and glad to, and be more than happy to. So Anybody have any questions they want to ask right now that maybe I can answer? I'm peeling an onion now, so if I start crying, it's because of the onion, not because I'm crying. And here's hoping I don't slice my finger or hands off using this mandolin man. Actually, I have not really cut myself on the mandolin. What I've cut myself on and really hurt myself, I mean, I had to get stitches and everything, was my Ninja blades. When I first got my Ninja, I was trying to unlock the blades, because they it's like two different blades and they lock together. And let me just tell you, it was right after I moved into my apartment here, and I didn't know Jackson for nothing. And I got work. I come home, I'm cleaning out my dishwasher and trying to kind of clean up and put away my Ninja that I had used for something, and I cut myself on it, and I'm like, I don't know where a walk-in clinic is, and I really don't want to go to the emergency room. I don't have to. Thankfully, the office was still open, and I could go and ask them about it because they would know. And, you know, there's a clinic right around the corner from me, which I am very grateful for. And it's actually the clinic I go to now whenever I have anything I need. So I've really kind of developed a relationship with people there. But I tell you, that was a night. I had to get like 2 or 3 stitches in my finger. I cut it that bad. But I am going to have that video up, like I was just talking to you about, for an introduction to doTERRA before my interview, so y'all can hopefully have a chance to watch that, or before we do the interview, to give you some idea, just kind of give you some information. And if you, like I said, if you had any other questions or anything that I hadn't answered in that, which I know you will, because everybody usually has more questions, and that's fine. But that way you can have a basic understanding of what we're talking about and that type of thing before you come into the stream. And yes, you're not seeing anything. My kitchen light is possessed, flickering, and everything. I've told them at the office, but they haven't had a chance to get by and fix it yet. And you know, I'm not going to push them on it. It's not a big deal to me. I just basically keep the light off if I can. So I don't want you to think that something's happening with your eyes or anything. No, it really is flickering. It's not just you or my video or your camera or computer or phone or whatever. And apparently, a couple weeks right after I let them know about it, they had a visit from their home office, so they kind of got backed up, and so I'm just kind of chilling and waiting for them to come and fix it. I've had issues with this light since I moved in with various things, so that's one of the nice things about living in an apartment, is you can have things like that taken care of for you. And I have to remember that as I'm about to embark on looking for a house. I'm going to be here for another year, but going to be looking to buy a house within the next 6 months probably or so. It'll be my first house that I've ever purchased in that type of thing, and I'm hoping to get a duplex because I want to be able to. I'm hoping to rent out one side for the cost of the mortgage, that type of thing. But we'll see. But I am I'm excited about the prospects of moving into my own place and being able to decorate it and paint it whatever way I want. But I will probably not be the one painting because, well, I've never tried to paint a room, but I somehow suspect that it's not going to be a very good idea for me to do that. I'm just kind of guessing, since when I do small paint projects, I tend to get it everywhere. So big paint projects are not going to go any better. In my small paint projects, you know, they tend to have more washable type of paint. Whereas if you're trying to paint a room, it's not very washable. I just assume pay for it and have it done professionally, because I don't even have to smell paint fumes. It can really kind of give me a headache sometimes. So I just assume avoid it altogether. And while I'm at my conference, I'll be staying with my brother, so I may try to do some videos of my niece and my nephew. Let y'all meet them. My niece is I'm trying to remember how old she actually is. She just turned 8 this year. She's an easy one for me to remember because it was just before I moved back here to West Tennessee with parents after my mom was diagnosed with her illness. So it's for me to kind of remember her. My nephew's a little harder for me to remember, but I want to say he's going to be 10 this year or maybe 11. I can't remember. He's got to be old. He's got to be 10, at least 10, maybe 11, because he just started the 6th grade. So he's got to be at least 11. So, but my niece is considered special needs. She was born 4 months premature. She was not due till April. She actually went home. She was born in January. She actually went home the day she was supposed to be born from the NICU. But she has special needs. She's got a condition called Creux-de-Chaux, which is a French term for cat-like cry. Basically, children who have, or people who are diagnosed with this disorder as a child, when they're little, their cry sounds like a cat's cry, which is where the term Creux-de-Chaux, cat-like cry, comes from. So, in 100% of the cases with Creux-de-Chaux, the individual is mentally retarded or intellectually disabled, and so my niece is intellectually disabled. But when she was born, they told my brother and sister-in-law, don't expect her to walk or do anything. Expect her to be a floppy baby. Because of the amount of damage, they could tell by the amount of damage to the chromosome that this condition is on, that it was going to be severe. The amount of I don't really want to say damage, but the amount of missing chromosome was going to be a severe condition. But I have to tell you, today, she knows her colors. She calls her brother's name is Josiah. She calls him Saya. I'm usually kind of Isty or Isty more than anything. She'll say Mom, Papa. She runs. She does have some trouble eating, so she has a feeding tube, or what they call a Mickey button, which is what they use for kids, that they can't hold of that tube and pull it out. It's a little button that sits above the skin, and that's how she gets almost all her nutrition. She does eat for pleasure, basically, or whenever we're eating, she pretty much will eat whatever we eat. She loves anything green. There's not much she doesn't eat. So she eats a little bit, but pretty much all of her nutrition comes from her feeding tube, and they hook her up to a pump night to feed her all during the night, and she eats. There's a formula they have that they give her that has all the nutrition and calories she needs for the day. So that's pretty much, like I said, that's how she pretty well meets all her dietary requirements, but she will eat for pleasure, eat what we eat, and eat with us like at meals. So the fact that what the doctor said, and the fact that she's gotten as far as she has is just remarkable to all of us, and we are just so excited for everything that she gains and everything that she's able to do. They're working. She's like I said, she knows her shape. Actually, I think she knows her shapes pretty well. She knows colors. They're working on sight words with her and things like that now. They're trying to really kind of keep her get her to as high a level of functioning as they can. Although she will never be at a completely um, full level of functioning like you and me or other people. She's always going to need assistance and help. And she's always going to have a compromised immune system. She's very, very susceptible to illnesses. And I think part of it is just her immune system in general. But she just stays sick like almost all the time. Uh, so much to the point that, she spikes 100 and, 104 temp. It's no big deal in that house. They know exactly what to do, and they just kind of do it, And so, I mean, that's just a common thing for her is to spike the kind of temps. But she can be a very sweet girl until she gets upset, and then she can be not so sweet. But they've worked with her on that and try to get her to stop. And really, a lot of her behavioral things that she would do, and as far as like pinching people and stuff, really is more out of frustration and not being able to communicate what her needs and what she wants, which is understandable. Think we couldn't tell people what we want or hurting or wanted, then I mean, what would you do? So, but they've worked with her to not to pinch and that type of thing, but to have nice hands, as they say, and trying to teach her that there's other ways to communicate than to just pinch. So, that doesn't take much, but you know what I'm saying. She can outlast her parents. She can outlast her nurses. She can outlast almost everybody. And she really enjoys life. And then my nephew, who I was telling you about earlier, like I said, he is in 6th grade now this year, and he is just he's got his own issues as well. He's on the spectrum, but it's very mild, and it's Asperger's that he has. And when I say he's on the spectrum, I'm talking about autism. He is super smart, though. I mean, like really, really smart. And my brother's the same way. He's always been very intelligent and really good with math and numbers, and just far beyond my understanding. I mean, my brother's at Vanderbilt right now. He's about to finish his doctorate. So, okay, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. But my brother has always been a numbers guy, and I got a picture one time of my nephew for career day, and he was dressed up in a little suit and tie with his little briefcase and a name badge on, and I'm like, oh, he wants to be. And it was a Vanderbilt name badge, and basically saying, and I'm like, oh, he wants to be his dad for when he grows up. And my brother's like, no, he wants to be he wants to be an electrical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm like, oh, well, excuse me, sorry for that, So it's just kind of like, come on now, brother. I'm just meaning he wants to be an engineer when he grows up. I'm not trying to be picky. But apparently, engineers are going to be picky, or at least my brother is. Or maybe he was just having fun giving me a hard time. Who knows? So that's my brother and my niece and my nephew. My sister-in-law, she is also a social worker. She has her master's in social work that she got just a few years ago, actually. And her mother is a social worker. My mom was a social worker. My aunt was a social worker. And my dad was a social worker. Are we seeing a trend here? So another little interesting fact that I find very interesting is everyone in my sister-in-law, my mom, my aunt, my dad, and myself have all graduated from the University of Tennessee. But we've all, my mom, my dad, my aunt, and I have all graduated from different branches of UT. The School of Social Work has branches in Memphis, Knoxville, and Nashville. My dad graduated from the Nashville branch. My mom and my aunt graduated from the Knoxville, from the Memphis branch. I started in Knoxville and finished in, I started in Nashville. I'm sorry, I started in Nashville and finished in Knoxville. But my sister-in-law started in Knoxville and finished in Nashville. They moved. She and I both moved in the middle of our programs, just to different parts of the state. So we've been in all branches of the social work program through the University of Tennessee, and have all graduated from there, including her mom. So social work is definitely a family thing. Engineering is not so much a family thing, at least not so far, until maybe my nephew goes into it. But he's got a few years to decide on that and make up his mind about what he wants to do. Although I can tell you he's not going to be a doctor. He does not like those kind of things. I showed him my finger after I got my stitches in there, and he was not much of a fan of that. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, cool. Even on myself, I'm like, cool. I've always enjoyed medical procedures and medical things. I actually watched them do my arthroscopic knee surgery when I had a cyst behind my kneecap that they were trying to take care of. They did a nerve, well, I don't know if a nerve blocker, but they did a in my back, they did an epidural. That's what I was trying to think of. And just numb me from the waist down. And then I sat there, lay there on the table, and just do my entire surgery. Very cool, let me tell you. And of course, there's some of you out there going, not cool. Put me out. What are you thinking? But I've always been very interested in the whole medical stuff and the field and everything else, and thought about being a doctor, thought about being a nurse, but while I do like the medical stuff, there are still some things that actually do gross me out. So, not exactly the best thing for me, and that's not my thing. So, that's another thing. Not a good field thing. So that's part of why I chose social work, because it has a lot of variability of things you can do. I've worked in hospitals. I've worked at the Department of Children's Services. I've worked at a dialysis clinic. I've worked with the adult intellectually disabled population. That's actually what I did in Knoxville, and I really loved that job and loved working with that population. And honestly, I would say it's where my heart is and what I really enjoy doing and connect with them. I love the people and everything, and it's something that I kind of am thinking about and wanting to try to get back into if I can in some form or fashion. So, I mean, but again, it's one of those things that population is either you love them or you can't work with them at all. There's not really an in-between. But it's been something I've done my whole life and have enjoyed my whole life. Sorry, I'm just getting a message about my battery. Hopefully that'll work and won't go dead on me. But I can remember even in elementary school, helping out with the class that worked with the intellectually disabled children, and in high school, I worked with a class for all 4 years of high school. I worked with the same class and the same teachers, and I would go on field trips with them and eat lunch with them and do all sorts of things. And I'm not just saying it just so kind of say, hey, toot my own horn here. No, I'm just saying it's been a lifelong thing that I have enjoyed and really, really do like. So, well, here is my bowl of cucumber and onions that I have made. Hopefully my friend will enjoy this. And it's going to be hard to see, but this is my peppers and tomatoes and onions. So I am probably think I'm going to go ahead and end this stream because I now need to make the vinegar and everything that goes in it, and I'm going to have to run around the kitchen and dining room to get everything together that I need. So I hope y'all have enjoyed it. Like I said, I just wanted to get on here while I was kind of doing this and say hi and kind of have some fun while I did, so it wasn't so lonely and boring. So I hope y'all have a good night, and I will be posting that video for the introduction to doTERRA. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow night. Since I work in the morning, I have the afternoon and evening to work on that. And then I will also be working on posting a list of the names I have for my drawings, for future drawings of my subscribers. So if I've missed you somehow, I can make sure that you get on there and you get into future drawings, as well as working on a video to pick some other names for people who haven't responded to my original live stream with the drawing. So hope you all have a good night, and I will be talking to y'all later. Thanks.